Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, thank you to Dr. Yousof Ali as our lecturer for this subject for giving us an opportunity to making an oral video presentation due to our subject or our course Islamic philosophy. First of all, my name is Syed Ahmad Khairul Ikhwan bin Sahasim, matrix number 1181778, and today I would like to talk about Islamic philosophy in the land of prophecy yesterday and today. Okay, as you can see here, my content for oral video presentation is taken from this book, and the name of the book is Islamic Philosophy from its origin to the present, Philosophy in the Land of Prophecy, that is written by Said Hussein Nasr, and I would like to take from chapter 50 in this book, named Philosophy in the Land of Prophecy yesterday and today. Introduction. In the current cultural climate in the West as well as the other parts from this earth affected by modernism and postmodernism, philosophy and prophecy are seen as two very different things, and in the eyes of many, antithetical approaches to the understanding of the nature of reality. However, the case in the various traditional civilizations preceding the advent of the modern world, nor is it the case even today to the extent that the traditional worldview has survived. Needless to say, by prophecy, it does not mean foretelling of the future, but bringing a message from higher or deeper orders of reality to a human collectivity. There are different models and degrees of prophecy, a fact that one realizes if one studies various religions, traditions, and even if one limits oneself to a single tradition, as we see in Judaism and Islam, where the prophetic role of Jonah or Daniel is not the same as that of the Moses or the Prophet Muhammad in Islam. And yet, there are common elements in various understandings of prophecy as far as the challenges posed to philosophy is concerned. First of all, prophecy implies levels of reality, whether these are envisaged as an objective or a subjective hierarchy. If there were to be only a single level of reality associated objectively with the corporal world and subjectively with our ordinary consciousness, considered as the only legitimate and accepted form of consciousness, then prophecy as the function of bringing a message from another world or another level of consciousness will be meaningless, because there will not be another world or level of consciousness, and any claims to their existence will be rejected and considered as subjective hallucination. In all these worlds, prophecy, which is a central reality, creates consequence in which philosophy must deal with. Prophecy provides law and moral teachings for society that ethical, politic, and legal philosophy must consider. Moreover, prophecy claims to provide knowledge of the nature of reality, including knowledge of the origin or source of all things. There is much that goes on by the name of philosophy today, but the question is whether there are still living schools of philosophy today in this world that function in an authentic manner in light of the realities of prophecy and wisdom that resides at the heart of the messages of heaven. Islamic philosophy, the current situation. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, as modern-style universities began to be established in various Islamic countries, in such places as Istanbul and Cairo, Western philosophy began to become disseminated and soon dominated the study of philosophy in such universities and similar institutions that came to be established later. In many places, Islamic philosophy was reduced to a shell and taught as the history of Islamic philosophy, and even that was seen from the point of view of Western scholarship where Islamic philosophy was taught, if it was taught at all, was in Faculty of Theology Ilahiyat rather than in the faculties of Arts and Letters, where the central role of philosophy was by and large fulfilled by modern Western philosophies. Most of the Muslims still live in a world that can be characterized as the land of prophecy, and they have faith in reality of revelation, yet many think and philosophize as if prophecy were reality associated only with faith and action, not related by mind's process. This attitude has given rise to a crisis that has paralyzed to a large extent intellectual creativity among the Muslims intelligent and brings a gap between faith and thought in soul and mind. Yet, because faith in prophecy remains strong and individuals seriously engaged in philosophical thought do not cease to appear, Islamic philosophy continues as a living intellectual tradition. As for the Islamic world, which stands between West and the Oriental worlds of India and the Far East, it is one in which the reality of prophecy remains as strong as ever. This philosophical tradition needs to respond not only to a secular philosophies but also to other schools of philosophy outside the abode of Islam that have come into being over the ages in the various lands of prophecy defined in its most universal sense. Based on the previous slide and sharing before, we can conclude that the reality of prophecy is like the sun. It can be eclipsed, but it always returns as an abiding reality. As for philosophy understood in its time-honored sense, it is the quest for the truth, for wisdom, for insight into the nature and causes of things. As long as there are human beings, there will be men and women drawn into this quest, and there will be philosophy in the sense defined here. Therefore, philosophy in the land of prophecy is a reality that is central concern now as it was yesterday, and it will remain of central concern tomorrow as it is today. Such was the situation yesterday, such it is today, and such it will be tomorrow. Thank you for listening for my video presentation. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi.